No credit? We got you. Text check to 780-777-7777. That's check to 780 all 7. Find out what you qualify for and start shopping with confidence. Go Auto. Drive what you love with payments that make sense.
From the first pitch to the final out, catch Toronto Blue Jays baseball games live right here. Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Sports 1440 is proud to be the home of Blue Jays baseball.
Hey, Gary, is that your dad?
No, this is Evan, the new sales rep I hired.
Oh.
First impressions matter, but when hair loss takes over, it can feel like you're not being seen for the maverick you truly are. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we know that hair loss is more than just a cosmetic issue. It's personal. Let's discuss all the cutting-edge options available so you can make a great impression every time.
Book a free consultation today at drvanceelliott.com.
Caesars is Alberta's anytime, anywhere sportsbook. Stay in the action with your favorite teams and players. Whether you're camping, kayaking, or catching a show this summer, bet wherever you are, whenever you want. Plus, Caesars Sportsbook offers fast payouts and flex parlays, a new way to keep your bet alive even if a pick misses. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app today.
Must be 18 or older and physically present in Alberta to gamble. Must be 21 or older to use Caesars Sportsbook. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may apply. Please play responsibly.
The Frenzy with Halley and Douglas on Sports 1440. Brought to you by Wilhuck Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
Morning. Thank you for joining us here on The Frenzy, brought to you by Wilhock Beef Jerky, the home of Alberta's best beef jerky. Online at wilhockbeefjerky.com, only available in Leduc. Go pay him a visit. Tell him we sent you. Of course, Trent, huge sports fan. You can talk to him about the Oilers, get his thoughts on the top 6. Where does Nugent Hopkins fall? You could ask him about the Dallas Cowboys as well as the preseason. Hall of Fame game happens in the NFL, and we're like, okay, it's close. But now I think the preseason is fully upon us. And fun on last night. The LA Chargers absolutely dismantling the Houston Texans. Now, the Texans might have the playoff wins, but the preseason wins go to the Chargers. It was a fun night in the NFL. We had a tie, the Colts and Patriots. Good stuff. The Edmonton Elks in action tomorrow, of course, taking on, let's say, a feisty opponent in the Toronto Argonauts. If we've seen anything from them in the past, they'll give you their opportunities. You got to make sure you take advantage of them, especially if you're a member of the secondary. Connor Halley, Brandon Douglas, Josh Fenwick, and young intern Connor on the board today, running us through this edition of The Frenzy as we will continue our look around the NFL. We spent a couple days on the West Coast. Now we'll head out to the East Coast. Talk to Miami Dolphins with Mike Oliva, of course, the managing editor, lead columnist, podcast host. The guy does it all at dolphinstalk.com. We'll get to 3 rounds with Josh Fenwick. Of course, the mailbag. You can reach us 1-833-401-1440 or email me, Connor at sports1440.ca. Now, I'm seeing Harry Potter everywhere. Now, I'm not the biggest fan. I've seen a movie or so. I saw them at Tim's. Now we got a little drop off from DQ, and they've got the Harry Potter thing going on. Like, look,
Oh,
it's
I
on the
see.
cup. What
On the cup.
I
Didn't
mean,
you have Dairy Queen yesterday?
yeah, we got the drop off as well, but they didn't have Harry Potter on it. I know you're a big House Slytherin guy.
No.
Known fact, you've got the tattoo and everything.
Yeah, that's how I'm a real. I would describe myself as a Potterhead, based on reading the books, seeing the movies, retaining a lot of the information, but no, haven't quite crossed that threshold yet, and I hope I never do, to be honest.
House of Slytherin: ambition, cunning, resourcefulness, self-preservation.
Do you think that describes me?
I think that is you.
Read the other ones. Maybe they fit me
Members
better.
often display strong leadership, determination, and cleverness. You're very clever. Founded by Salazar Slytherin, the house symbolized by a serpent and use the color green and silver.
All bad wizards are in Slytherin.
What?
They're evil.
They need the good one to
The
show
founder of it was essentially Hitler. He's like, only Aryans, only purebloods should learn magic.
That's Salvador?
Salazar.
Oh, Salazar.
The other three, Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, and Ravenclaw, were like, this guy's a little suspect.
Hufflepuff is a kind of a weird one.
So then he put a giant snake in the school and left and hid it.
In the basement, right?
Sort of.
Chamber of Secrets basement. I don't know. I've only seen the movie.
We're talking
once.
Potter, Tom. You like that?
Well, yeah. Well,
one nerd, and one jock.
One guy trying to learn.
The only jock that got bullied in high school.
I didn't get bullied in high school.
I'm just kidding.
I was like Switzerland in high school. I was just kind of neutral. I was there, but I don't think anybody.
That's what Josh claimed, or was it Donovan? That was both of them. I think were claiming that they were just bystanders, which, as we know, just as guilty as the bullies themselves.
Wow, how much bullying did you witness at Delburn?
I was the bully.
I think I saw one bullying incident in my 3 years at Shep.
The thing is, when the school's so small, everybody just bullies each other. It's like a constant circle. And back in my day, we just called that old-fashioned ribbing. And then occasionally you'd stuff one of your buddies in a locker and then head to class. And,
it's just self-preservation.
And then he'd be like, Miss Teacher, I have to go to the bathroom. And they're like, we just got here. I'm like, oh, no, I have to go let so-and-so to the locker I put him in. And they're like, what are you doing? Go let him out right now.
Never saw one person get stuffed in their locker.
And we would do it like as a bit, like the trope. He's like, oh, this is what you do in high school. You stuff kids in lockers, even if they're your best friends.
Never even thought of doing that. But yeah, I mean, hey, I was middle of the pack. I don't think anybody from Shep would actually even remember me.
Connor, you're one of their more prominent alumni, I'm sure.
Well, not quite. Me, Jamie Soleil.
Good one.
There's others. There's more. The Gregg family, the Olympians.
Dr. Gregg? Or his children?
His children, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think all went to Shep. There's some good ones there. Hey, we got a few minutes here. Should we jump into 3 rounds with Josh Fenwick? Connor, you ready to do this?
Want to ring the bell?
He's ready.
All right. Ding, ding.
Round 1.
No, will he stop it down in time?
Oh, no, I gave him the down
All
low.
right.
I gave him the down low on the stop down.
Great job, Connor.
Well done.
Number 1, what's the better sports movie? Miracle or Remember the Titans?
Whose turn is it to go first?
I think you got to go first.
Oh, this is so tough. In the pure nature of better sports movie, I'll take Miracle. Obviously, both based on true stories. My understanding is that Miracle is a little closer to the true events than Remember the Titans takes quite a few Disney liberties in their portrayal of what's obviously an iconic team, what it meant to that area, and coming out of Jim Crow law in the South and all that. But like hockey obviously reigns supreme for me. The fact that they got actual players to be the stunt doubles, they taught a lot of the guys to play as well. So they didn't need stunt doubles for every scene and things like that. Plus, Kurt Russell's portrayal of Herb Brooks was absolutely tremendous, unparalleled. So I'll take Miracle, but this is one of the truest instances where I believe there is no wrong answer.
Yeah, you guys probably, if you don't know, now you know. Remember the Titans is one of my favorite movies of all time. I also don't like long movies, and we're saving about 22 minutes watching Remember the Titans
compared to Miracle. You can catch another whole episode of a sitcom with that time.
American propaganda of all that movie and what it claimed to be. No, they're both great movies.
Do you think that in this past year, and let's call it a couple of years since a little bit more of this antagonistic nature between Canada and the United States, that even there's Canadians now that aren't as fond of Miracle, even in retrospect.
Probably.
Like people become so anti-American that they're like, this used to be my favorite movie. Now it sucks.
Some people are very serious about that.
Yeah.
Remember the Titans, it's all about bringing people together. The soundtrack is great. You got Denzel. I mean, a young Ryan Gosling. Someone's
absolute liability at cornerback.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. Everyone says that. It's quite the thing.
The guy
to
that played Turk on Scrubs.
Yes,
he was Petey.
Football fun, Petey.
What I will give Remember the Titans credit for, their characters are more memorable as individuals than the hockey players.
You think left side, strong side doesn't get yelled at football practice?
Johnson, Ramsey, like Craig. We obviously remember the names, but like, can you actually tell me when you're watching the movie and they're all just lined up like, oh yeah, that one is Johnson, that one's Ramsey, that one's Suter? No, like they're just, they look like hockey players. Whereas in Remember the Titans, you remember specifically name to character. I think it's a little bit easier.
Julius,
Superman. What a legend.
When Gary Bertier's mom accepts him, what a moment. There's so many.
Well, and he's like, sorry, there's only family in here. It's like, are you blind? This is my brother.
Oh, who doesn't get chills just saying that? Oh, and then the comeback, the play, Sunshine. Had a little trouble learning the pitch.
He finally learned the pitch.
But you get Rev in there running downfield, getting blocks from Sunshine. Sunshine blocked like 17 guys somehow.
Unreal. He's just a beast. A young Trevor Lawrence type.
Great movie.
The absolute turning point of that movie is when Coach Yost is like, I'll bring you all down with me, and then starts yelling at the defense that you blitz all night.
Great.
My
quote.
most commonly used quote when playing Madden and calling defense.
When Gary Bertier runs to the opposing side, just points at the coach. I'm like, kind of a corny part of the movie.
He's mean mugging him.
Yeah, just points at him.
What's more corny, that or Ryan Gosling taking himself out of the game because he sucks?
You know, he should have been playing safety. That's what I'll say. He didn't have the speed to run side to side, but clearly he could tackle. I should have been playing safety.
Round 2.
Round number 2. If you were a batter and the closer was being brought in, what is the scarier song to hear? Iron Man by Black Sabbath or Hell's Bells by AC/DC?
Hell's Bells by far. Do you hear those? Boom,
yeah.
And you're just, whoa, no, here it comes. Trevor Hoffman, I'm screwed. You can play it up. It ramps up. The crowd's getting going. The thing with that one is, too, you can start it like mid-break there, like a long time beforehand because it takes so long to ramp up. And you just know Hoffman's coming to get you. Hell's Bells.
Iron Man 2 has a very long intro, and it's kind of obviously got the, process voiceover on it. It was like, I am Iron Man. And then the actual music ramps up. So that has its benefit, too. But I think that the opening, if you're playing it right from the start and it's not an edited cut together, the simple toll of the bells and then into the music slowly keeps getting better, right? I both songs are great, but I am definitely more partial to Hell's Bells. So I have a harder time. I have a harder time coming out. I think this might be the first time I don't just automatically oppose you on it because, man, it's one of my favorite songs. And if you put it in that context specifically, it's so good. Now, do I still think that Enter Sandman is even more intimidating? Maybe partially because of who it's attached to, the best to ever do it in Rivera. Yeah, I think I probably would still lean that way.
Yeah. It's just,
what would be your like we've had this discussion about walk up songs as a batter, but your closer song.
Honestly, MTR texted in Blind by Korn from Mason Miller. I think that is unbelievable.
It's awesome.
Like that was a good one that underutilized, but yeah, Enter Sandman, Riviera. That's a wild one.
So good.
Final round.
Third and final. What's the more fun conspiracy theory? Who built the pyramids or the JFK assassination?
What's more fun?
What's a more fun one to talk about? Who built the pyramids or the JFK assassination?
By the definition of the question, I have to go with the pyramids. I'm definitely more into the JFK assassination because there's more tangible things to try and piece together. Like it's more of a real puzzle. Whereas the pyramids thing, it's all speculative because it was so long ago. We genuinely have no clue. So you can just put out whatever idea you want, like Iron Man time traveled back and built them. Sure, that could happen, I guess. We have no idea what the future holds for us. Whereas with JFK, like that happened in our parents' or at least our grandparents' lifetime. Some people were there. They seen it. They done seen it. there's the files, obviously, that came out. But at the same time, is it a little not as fun because it seems pretty obvious what actually happened? Was it the mob? Was it the CIA? Was it some combination of them? So if by definition, more fun, I think it's the pyramids just because it's more open-ended.
Yeah, I like it more and it's more fun. It's the pyramids because it's like, okay, well, what actually happened? How do they do this thing? Were there giants in a previous time? Was it aliens? You know, like how did they move these rocks? There's no way they could do it with
science,
their technology at the time. But then, yeah, now you have people coming out and saying, actually, you could.
But that's what takes it to a next level is when you realize like how they're aligned and they perfectly, go to true north and all these things where they line up. And it's like, were these actually, could they generate electricity? Similar to what Tesla later found out, similar type theories and principles. It's so open and we can't prove or go into any of it. With JFK, like if they ever actually just release the files that it's 4 straight presidencies have said they're going to, then we would get an answer because it's probably documented at least in some capacity. We have no way with the pyramids. So more open-ended, more fun as a result.
I'm with you. Couple texts here. Brad says The End by The Doors would be a great song for a closer. This is the end.
Yeah.
That would be not too bad. Enter Sandman from Mariano. Trailer Park Ryan says, guys, the best song to walk into in any sport we're trying to imitate is Ivan Drago's interest music in Rocky IV when they're in Russia.
I would have to watch that again to refamiliarize myself. It's been I haven't seen any of the Rocky movies, and I never watched Creed. I haven't seen any of them in a long time.
Oh,
so you got to get on Creed.
Yeah, no, I have seen them, but it's been many years.
Going back to the first question, hey, Mr. Young Connor, have you seen Remember the Titans?
It is one of my favorite sports movies of all time.
So,
all right, so he's already ahead of Donovan in power rankings.
Donovan hasn't seen it, and that actually, like, I'm not ever recommending violence, but I want to slap him when he tells me he hasn't seen it. Like, sit down for 2 hours and watch one of the best movies of all time.
I'm not a huge believer in absolutes, but can you really consider yourself a sports fan, period? Doesn't matter what sport, without having seen Remember the Titans. Like, you could not care a lick about football, but it's actual historical context and sporting element into that. I think it's a movie every person should see.
The music in it, it's good. Like, and Donnie, he'll watch it. He'll be like, "Oh, it's Cheeks.
This movie's total cheeks."
And he won't even admit that he loves it. That's a movie that everyone in the world should watch once a year.
Just once a year.
Once a year.
Okay. I admittedly do not watch it that frequently, but probably once every few years at least.
It might be the first movie Benny watches, just to learn how things used
Can
to
I
be.
make another suggestion instead?
No.
For first movie for Benny to watch.
Cars?
Black Dynamite. Or MacGruber.
What's Black Dynamite?
You've never seen Black Dynamite?
I haven't even heard of it.
It's like a huge satirical take on like action movies from the 80s. It's so funny. One of the funniest, maybe the funniest movie I've ever seen, actually.
From 2009?
Yeah. Yeah, it's really good.
All right. Arsenio Hall's in it. Okay. Maybe I'll watch that one. I'll watch it first and assess, and then we'll come back to it. We're going to take a break here. When we come back, we're going to talk a little Miami Dolphins. It is The Frenzy here on Sports 1440, brought to you by Will Hawk Beef Jerky.
It's a fader up.
Struggling to find skilled workers? What if you could fill your talent pipeline with motivated, pre-vetted youth and receive funding to support your efforts? At Careers The Next Generation, we connect Alberta employers with interns in skilled trades, IT, agriculture, forestry, and more. All WCB covered, high school accredited, safety trained, and ready to contribute from day one. With 83% of RAP students continuing their apprenticeships after high school, investing in youth today means securing your workforce for tomorrow. Don't wait. Visit careersnextgen.ca to get started.
Beer League Slow Pitch. It's an Alberta summer tradition.
I got shortstop. I'll take pitcher. Yeah, I'm just here for the dugout snacks.
When you're playing on the field, you need serious fuel. And there's only one MVP. Will Hawk Beef Jerky. Load up on Alberta's best beef jerky and hit a home run with the team. It's the perfect snack for your summer sports.
Will Hawk Beef Jerky, because you can't have summer fun with salad. Only available in Leduc.
Thinking of growing your business? In partnership with Prairie's Can, the Alberta Chambers of Commerce is helping businesses explore new opportunities, new markets, and build connections through organized trade missions across Canada. Find the right mission for you at abchamber.ca/trade missions.
Do you know why people love working at GS Construction? It's honest work. It's work that needs to be done. And we're really good at what we do. That's why GS Construction has been in business for over 50 years. We won't be wearing a top hat and tails, more like hard hat and boots, because we're heading underground to keep the water flowing in and out of your homes and businesses in Edmonton. GS Construction is currently looking for experienced pipe layers and top men. Visit gsconstruction.ca/careers today.
Not sure what wheels fit your vehicle? Evolve Wheels and Tires gives you honest advice from enthusiasts who know fitment inside and out. Whether it's your truck, SUV, or sports car, they have you covered. Evolve Wheels and Tires, Edmonton's premium wheel specialists. Evolve your ride. Evolve your experience.
Action Electrical's projects team takes the field, folks. Ready to execute the entire play for new commercial builds.
Absolutely. They're masters of design build, sketching strategy from initial blueprints to core electrical infrastructure. The team never misses on complex projects.
Known for handling big league constructions and major renovations, ensuring flawless execution, hire the Action Electrical team to bring home a win for your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
At Papa John's, we know it's not just a pizza. It's a family gathering. Happy birthday, a special celebration, or just a sigh of relief at the end of a busy day. For a limited time, get large one-topping pizzas for only $14.99 each on original, thin, or New York-style crust. Use promo code L1499 at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app. Get yours today. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
From the first pitch to the final out. Catch Toronto Blue Jays baseball games live right here. Don't miss a moment of Blue Jays baseball this season. Sports 1440 is proud to be the home of Blue Jays baseball.
For over 60 years, the folks at Diablo Boots have been selling the best Canadian-made boots. Handcrafted in Winnipeg, Canada West makes the best quality cowboy, biker, and work boots for Diablo Boots with replaceable soles and heels. Why buy cheaper quality like Ariat, Justin, and Red Wing made in China when Canadian-made is better? Support Canada's workers and Diablo Boots for the best boots. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Canada West and Diablo Boots, the two best names in the boots business.
Recently, our company's softball team lost the big game by 1 run. Then Dale tried to console us with the quote, "Winning isn't everything." Well, Dale and I are very different. I get early payout from Bet365. If my team goes up big, I get paid out instantly, even if they blow the lead later. Sound familiar, Dale? Thanks, Bet365.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
The Frenzy with Halley and Douglas on Sports 1440. Brought to you by Wilhuck Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
It's 11:21. Welcome back to the Frenzy here on Sports 1440, brought to you by Wilhuck Beef Jerky, the home of Alberta's best beef jerky, online at willhawkbeefjerky.com. Go pay him a visit. Only available in the Duke. Connor Halley, Brendan Douglas, Josh Fenwick, and Connor the intern with you here. Text lines 1-833-401-1440. If you'd like to get in on the conversation, this segment brought to you by Elks Nation. Check out the new website, elksnation.ca. Articles, podcasts, and more breaking down the green and gold. The most in-depth W football coverage online, elksnation.ca. As we continue our look around the NFL. We've been going alphabetical. So 2 days in LA talking Chargers Rams. Now we head out to the East Coast. We're going to talk some Miami Dolphins with Mike Oliva with dolphintalk.com. Give him a follow on X, Dolphins Talk. Mike, good afternoon. How are you doing today?
Hey guys, what's going on? How you doing?
I think we got you back here. Mike, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing really good. I appreciate you joining us here on the show today. And I was doing a little research, looking around. I saw you on Ross Tucker's show, and very good interview, very informative. But the term was dropped, the March for Arch. And I can tell you in Edmonton, we had the fall for Hall back when Taylor Hall was being drafted by the Oilers. Those things are fun to watch throughout the regular season. And as much as it sucks during the season, long term it can pay off. I want to ask you, as someone who has a pulse of this team and the fan base, are we expecting a tough season in Miami?
Yes, there's no way around it. They have $180 million of dead money on their salary cap, which is an NFL record, by the way. And it's just tough to field a competitive roster when you got that much money of that you just can't use on your cap. I mean, that's almost like half the cap almost. So it's a very young roster. Between last year's draft and this year's draft, you got roughly 21 players, first and second year guys who are going to be playing a lot. That's probably not good. Some of those guys will be okay, I'm sure, but it's pretty much a roster filled with first year and second year players. From a quote unquote superstar level, you got like 3 names. You got Achane at running back, you got Jordan Brooks at linebacker, and then you got Aaron Brewer at center. Outside of that, it's just a young team. You have a quarterback they signed from the Packers who is promising in Malik Willis, but he's only got 6 NFL. He's only been the 6 ever NFL starts ever, which isn't much. And then you have a rookie NFL head coach. I mean, it's young is the key word here. They're just young across the board. So this is probably going to be a rough season.
Now, Mike, you mentioned Devon Achane as one of the few players that actually stand on this roster on a legitimate, star player level. Now, we heard new head coach Jeff Hafley mention in one of his preseason and training camp conversations that this guy could be getting the ball 40 times a game. Is that a little tongue-in-cheek, or do you genuinely think like this is truly like the one piece of this offense that is tried and true and you know what you're going to get out of him? Pretty safe to say he's going to be the focal point in the center of how this offense operates down to down, series to series?
He's going to get the ball a lot. Not that much, obviously. I think that part of it was a little bit of a joke. But I think around 20 touches a game for sure. He's probably their best wide receiver, too, because they have not much at wide receiver. So I know the past 2 seasons he's caught like 67 and 78 passes. He'll probably be somewhere in that neighborhood again where they throw him the ball just as much as they run it with him. So he's going to catch a lot of passes. They're going to run a lot because at wide receiver, Hill's not longer. He's no longer here. Waddle, he's no longer here. So they really don't have much at that spot. So he is the offense. Like, there's no question about it. He is going to be the focal point, and he's going to have the ball in his hands a lot. And he's really, really, really good as a player. So that is like one thing I think fans of the Miami Dolphins can look forward to see if he can take that next step and become even more of a superstar player, I guess.
So, Mike, were you at all surprised then when the extension gets signed? Because the way they were parting out players, listen, you still need NFL players to round out your roster. But as you kind of said, outside of a handful of names, that's not necessarily what the Dolphins are fielding. So are you kind of surprised that, A, they were interested in signing to extension, and maybe even more so that Achane himself was interested in sticking around longer term with this club?
Well, I think from his perspective, you also have to factor in Miami ain't a bad place to live. So, once you're there, you kind of fall in love with the place a little bit. So there's that aspect of it. And plus, he's getting paid a lot of money. So there's that. And I think from their side, it's a whole new front office. And they have like reevaluated everything. They've run off a lot of guys who they didn't want here. They ran off a lot of guys who were severely overpaid. And then they are going to invest in guys who they think aren't just going to help them now, but will help them for the next 2, 3, or 4 years. Achane's one of those guys. He's still very young. Yes, he's a running back, and we know in this league you got to be careful because their shelf life isn't as long as some guys who play some other positions. But he's the real deal. Like, he shows up, he works hard, he puts in the work off the field. He's a great guy off the field. Never going to make a headline for doing something, really dumb, let's just say. So investing in him is a wise choice, and it made sense for all sides. So I'm not surprised they invested in him.
We are taking a look at the Miami Dolphins here on The Frenzy, brought to you by Will Hawk Beef Jerky. This team, I mean, you look at what they've done this past offseason. Obviously, John Eric Sullivan comes over, Jeff Hafley as well, and you've spoken about it. I mean, this is a young team and kind of trying to rebuild this thing from the ground up. When you look at ownership, is there going to be the patience and, expectation that, okay, we have the guys we believe in, but we have to give them that timeline, at least, 3-4 seasons. We can't get impatient and, burn it down again.
Yes, only because, and this really just happened a week or two ago, but it has happened for the past few months. Our owner is 86 years old, and he's pretty much handed everything over to his son-in-law, who is only 37, and he was the man behind these hires of John Eric Sullivan and Jeff Hafley. He was the guy who brought in Troy Aikman to be that advisor, I guess you could say. So it's not really our owner anymore. Yes, on paper, he's still the owner, but he has handed off everything to his son-in-law. These are his hires, and I think he is going to have patience. And plus, just common sense. The mess that they are in Miami isn't the fault of anyone who's there now. Not the fault of this head coach, not the fault of this general manager, not the fault of this new son-in-law who's kind of in charge. It was the last regime that made this mess. So they understand you got to have a 1-year honeymoon period just to wait out all these contracts that they had to get rid of and this mess. So I think there is going to be patience. I think they're in it for a long haul with this group. And I think, look, they're not hoping to have a bad year, but I think they'll be understanding if they have a rough season this year, like many expect. And then next year, obviously, there's going to be a little bit more in the terms of expectations. But I think, yes, they're all on for the first time ever. They're all on the same page, and they're all sharing the same mindset. Because since he bought the team, Mr. Ross, 17 years ago, this is the first time that they let go of the head coach and the general manager at the same time. It's always one stays, one goes, one stays. And it was always a forced marriage that just never worked. This is the first time it was a clean sweep. And if you count the owner, it's even a clean sweep with him because, yes, he's the owner, but he's not really in charge anymore. So I think there's going to be a lot of patience. And I think for the first time in many, many years, they finally might have this right from a front office stance. And from there, you hope next is the roster. Then after that comes the winning.
Yeah, I mean, and you see it so often in pro sports. The Raiders might be the latest example in the NFL where you're just going through head coach and GM.
Yep.
How do you ever expect to win? So that's an encouraging thing to hear, I would think, for Miami Dolphins fans, as Mike Oliva joining us from DolphinsTalk.com. Now, I just want to look at the quarterback position because, I'm old enough to remember when Quinn Ewers was kind of a highly looked at prospect in the college football game. Obviously, he goes to the Dolphins last year in the 7th round, but Malik Willis comes over on that 3-year deal worth just over $67 million. So my question for you is kind of similarly to the coach and GM. What is the patience going to be like for Malik Willis, and will Quinn Ewers be providing some pressure on him from the number 2 spot?
No pressure from that spot because our head coach came from the Packers, our general manager came from the Packers, and the one guy they paid this offseason, the one guy was Willis, who came from the Packers. So he's their guy for this year. He's their guy. Quinn Ewers, he started the last 3 games last year. Compared to the guy he replaced, he was okay. Overall, though, he was underwhelming, I think, in those starts. I mean, he was fine. It was nothing great. And so far in training camp, he's kind of had a rough camp, which, again, it's camp. It's late July, first part of August. I don't know how much you want to read in that, but it hasn't been great. So Willis is the guy this year. Now, look, if they end up with pick number 1, 2, or 3 next year, they're probably taking a quarterback because you're not picking 1, 2, or 3 unless your quarterback probably struggles this year. I mean, it's a hard case to make where they're going to have a rough season and have a pick, say 1, 2, 3. But Willis played great. Well, if you play great, how do you pick a 1, 2, or 3? So it's like a fine line to where, he's here now. They gave him a deal. It's a 2-year deal essentially. So he's not tying up the cap forever. It's this year, next year. So if they wanted to take one next year at the top of round 1, if there happen to be picking there, it's fine. It's not going to be. So I think he's got the job this year. It's his job. There's really not a competition for it. Quinn Ewers is a nice number 2, but he's not really competing or putting on any pressure to be a number 1.
Mike, if we look on the other side of the football defensively, obviously some nice pieces, some investment. Kenneth Grant, Chop Robinson. This year they had Jacob Rodriguez through the draft, Trey Moore as well at the linebacker spot. What are your thoughts on this group as a whole when you look at the defensive side of the ball?
Yeah, very young here, obviously. This is where they have like a lot of youth. Chop Robinson has to take a giant leap here in year 3. He was okay as a rookie last year. He really wasn't that good. And they lost guys like Jalen Phillips and Chubb at the edge. He's all they got when it comes to a pass rusher. So they need Chop Robinson, Chop to be more like the guy he was in year 1 than he was in year 2. Grant last year was a first-round pick. Top half of the draft, too. He really didn't play great. They need him to take a leap. Jacob Rodriguez, the rookie, seems like the real deal. Coming out of, everyone loved him in this draft this past year. He fell to Miami, a pick 43, I believe. And every report so far in camp is this guy is the real deal. So I think they found one in him. So that's good. And also Chris Johnson, the corner, who they took at the end of round 1 this past year. I think he's looked like he might be the real deal as well. It's a lot of youth again. And with youth, there's always high upside, but their first year, there's going to be some growing pains and there's going to be some mistakes because they're rookies. And that's what happens to any rookie, even if it's a great rookie. So I think there's a lot of youth here. And I think in a year or so, this has a chance to be a very good unit. But I think this year, it's going to be a work in progress. Much like this whole team this year is going to be a work in progress.
Do you see any way they might go out there and look and adding any free agents? I mean, I look at the receiver room and there is a guy like Keenan Allen out there, although I don't know if maybe he wants to play on a contending team. But do you think they could dabble with any free agents, or would you expect this to be the group?
It's possible, but I'd say unlikely. And if they do, it's probably at wide receiver. I think Adam Schefter, he reported like a week or so back, they made a phone call on Stephon Diggs, which doesn't really fit this team because this team is not really close to winning. Why would you add a player like him? Well, because their wide receiver room is like really bad in Miami. Let's just be honest. So someone like him, Allen, if you wanted to come here, yes. I don't think they're going to pay him a ton, though. So he'd have to come here and know it's probably be an incentive-laden type deal, stuff like that. So I don't think it's impossible. I just think it's kind of unlikely. I think they want to save every penny under the cap they can now, roll it over to next year, and then when all that money is off the cap, then they're going to be in a great spot to actually, spend some next March and April and sign some guys. So look, they know what this year is. They're not trying to lose on purpose or anything, but I don't think they're going to put themselves in a bad spot for 2027, though, by paying someone who isn't going to move the needle any and help them win that many more games this year.
Mike Oliva of Dolphins Talk joining us here on the Frenzy. Connor Halley with you. Text lines 1-833-401-1440. So, Mike, just looking at that division, and obviously the Bills and Patriots will be quite tough. You might have a win or two against them. There could be competitive matchups here. But how do you think the division eventually will play out? Because I know you get a chance to see these teams at least twice a year.
Yeah, I think for the Bills, this is it maybe. I mean, they've come close a lot, and they always fall just a little short. You got to think one of these years they're going to sneak through and maybe make the Super Bowl or something. That window for them just seems it's not closed yet, but it's close to being closed. So I still think they're the top team in the AFC East. Josh Allen can't turn the ball over like he does, though. That's the one thing for them. I think for the Patriots, obviously they made the Super Bowl last year. I think they'll take a little bit of a step back, but they're still pretty good. And they added A.J. Brown, which should help their offense. Their offensive line, though, is still a big question mark. The Jets, here's the thing with the Jets. Their roster actually isn't awful. They got two glaring problems, though. One's head coach, and two is the quarterback, which are two big problems to have. But the rest of their roster, if you look at wide receiver, running back, offensive line, it's not awful. I just don't know if they have the right head coach or if they have the right quarterback. So I think they'll be a little bit better this year. Now, what's that, 5 wins, 6 wins? I think, probably somewhere around there. But I think it's one has to be the Bills until, and then after that, I'd probably put the Patriots, Jets third, Miami right now is probably last.
Now, Mike, just two more questions for you. One is a little self-serving. You probably noticed I have a Chargers hat on here. I've been a fan of the team for a few years, and I had a vision maybe last November that Mike McDaniel would be fired and then join the Chargers. And it came to be. It's been fun so far. As an offensive coordinator, what are your thoughts on Mike McDaniel, and what do you expect from him this season with Justin Herbert?
You're a fan of the Chargers?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Here's my advice. Good luck. Because here's the thing with Mike. Mike can draw plays. You're like, wow, that's a creative play. That's a great play. The problem with Mike is getting in the plays on time, making in-game adjustments with his offense. There was a game last year in Miami, and I'm not making this up. Opening kickoff goes right through the end zone. So the clock, not 1 second comes off the clock. Offense goes on the field. They call timeout because he can't get the play in on time. That's Mike McDaniel in a nutshell. You laugh at the press conferences, you laugh at the clips that they put out there on social media. He's a fun guy. He's engaging, great personality. When it comes down to game time, though, he is frustrating as heck. He'll have success. Herbert's a good quarterback. He's got weapons. They'll have their moments where they put a point. You're like, this guy's a genius. But there's going to come a game or two or three where he's going to drive you absolutely insane. And it's probably going to be the worst game. It's going to come at the worst moment of the year, at the worst time of the year. And you're going to be like, what is this guy doing? So there was a game they played at the Bills. They're averaging 7 yards a carry. Our running back is 120-something yards heading into the fourth quarter. Guess what he did in the fourth quarter? Stopped running the ball, started throwing it. It's stuff like that just drives you nuts. Have fun.
Good. Okay,
Enjoy.
last question for you. You've got an amazing collection of Dolphins memorabilia behind you. For those watching on YouTube, Facebook, X, all over where we are. What got you a Dolphins fan? Are you from the area? And what's your favorite piece of memorabilia?
Yeah, not from the area. But in the 1980s when I was a kid, Dan Marino was the guy. Just like nowadays, I expect there's a lot of fans of the Kansas City Chiefs all over the country because of Pat Mahomes, which makes sense. In the 1980s, Marino was the guy when I was a kid, going to the Super Bowl in 1984, throwing for more touchdown passes than everyone in the league. Like, it wasn't even close. So he was the guy. That's how I became a fan. My favorite piece is probably either that helmet signed by Marino, or there's another one right back there as well, signed by Marino. One of those two are probably my favorite. It's not all stuff from Marino in here. There are some other people. There are other players in here too. But yeah, probably one of those two helmets are probably my favorite. I like that logo better, so probably that one's probably my favorite. But yeah, it was pretty much because of him in the 80s. Like, he was what now we see as Pat Mahomes now, or what, Tom Brady was before him maybe. He was the guy, and he was throwing 48 touchdowns a season when, the next highest guy was like 22 or so. It was it was just insane.
Yeah, but you look at the stat sheet. That's kind of what I have to look back on.
Yeah.
That second season, unbelievable. All things considered, right?
Yeah.
The way
Yeah.
the game was played back then and how it was officiated as well. Unbelievable. Well, Mike, thanks so much for doing this today. Really appreciate it. And maybe we can get you on again during the season.
Anytime you guys need me. Thank you.
There you go. That is Mike Oliva from DolphinsTalk.com. You can go check him out on X as well at Dolphins Talk. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting season down in Miami. Like you said, you don't want to lose games. But if you do, the March for Arch isn't necessarily a bad thing. And we'll see how he does with the Longhorns. I was looking at the roster, the depth chart for the Miami Dolphins. A couple all-league names. Storm Duck and Major Burns, both in that secondary. Now, lower on the depth chart. Will they play together? Maybe not, but good names. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll get to your text. 1-833-401-1440. We'll also let you know what's coming up on the Lowdown and the Jason Greger Show. It is The Frenzy, brought to you by Will Hawk Beef Jerky.
Tee up for a great day on the course and support the Stony Plain Eagles Senior Men's Hockey Club. It's the Stony Plain Eagles Golf Tournament. Gather your foursome and join the Eagles August 25th at the Links at Spruce Grove for a 2 p.m. shotgun start. Enjoy a fantastic afternoon of golf, great company, and friendly competition, all while supporting the Stony Plain Eagles. Get all the details and register today at stonyplaineagles.com.
Hi, I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. We've been tightening bolts and redefining our industry for 25 years. Yes, a quarter century, and we're just getting started. Check us out at cantork.com. Our tools age better than I do.
Tap into the fun of Play Alberta's most popular casino games. From the fast-paced spins of Cash Eruption to the retro thrills of Sevens Wild, online excitement is always at your fingertips. Spin through your choice of popular slots or discover Alberta-exclusive games you won't find anywhere else. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
Need an excuse to upgrade your ride? Well, we got a few to share. Go Auto has over 18,000 new and used vehicles ready to test drive right now. With more than 70 locations, your perfect match could be closer than you think. A family-friendly SUV for soccer practice, a fuel-sipping commuter, or a hardworking truck that's ready for anything. Trusted brands and a team that's actually happy to help. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
Attention Alberta construction pros. For over 50 years, Japa Equipment Rentals has been your go-to for top-notch equipment and stellar service. Whether you need rentals or expert maintenance, we've got you covered. Stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations today.
Pride of the North Side and a man of O-Town. Listen to the Tom Gazzola Show, weekday mornings from 7 to 11 on Edmonton's home for sports. Sports 1440. Be part of the conversation. 833-401-1440.
From the local rinks to homes and businesses across the province, Alberta's rural natural gas utilities are here to fuel life affordably, reliably, and safely. We're members of the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops, providing natural gas to keep our rural neighborhoods warm and connected every day. It's local, dependable, and it's ours. To learn more about the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops and our members, and how natural gas fuels your community, visit fedgas.com. Alberta's energy. Game on.
Caesars is Alberta's anytime, anywhere sportsbook. Stay in the action with your favorite teams and players. Whether you're camping, kayaking, or catching a show this summer, bet wherever you are, whenever you want. Plus, Caesars Sportsbook offers fast payouts and flex parlays, a new way to keep your bet alive even if a pick misses. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app today.
Must be 18 or older and physically present in Alberta to gamble. Must be 21 or older to use Caesars Sportsbook. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may apply. Please play responsibly.
Get your lineups and laughs right here on The Frenzy with Halley and Douglas on Sports 1440, presented by Wilhock Beef Jerky.
Don't feel right. It made me put away my pride.
Music, young Connor. Welcome back. It is The Frenzy here on Sports 1440, brought to you by Wilhock Beef Jerky, the home of Alberta's best beef jerky, online at wilhockbeefjerky.com. Connor Halley, young Connor, Josh Fenwick with you here from the Sports 1440 studios in West Edmonton Mall. Thank you guys for joining us on the show today. Text rolling in. Rick says, rare Dolphins talk. My team for 35 years. Well, the Dolphins, to be fair, as of late, haven't given us that much to discuss, but we are going through every NFL team. So we always go out to Miami, and I don't know their schedule offhand, but when they play on prime time, we'll go back. We got some connects down there now, so we'll be talking some Dolphins this year. Rick follows up, says, I'm conflicted this season. Of course, I want them to win every season, but I also know this team is lacking so much talent that they need to draft super high, build through the draft at premium positions, and sign offensive linemen as free agents, because that's the one position they can never draft well. I think Donovan Paulson knows that as well. I'm going to be so confused if Willis does well and we stink and finish with a top 3 pick. Should we go with Willis or Manning or Menza or Moore or Sellers and like 3 to 4 more quality quarterbacks? I think you have to. I think you do. Like, with all due respect to Willis, like, he could still hold onto the seat for a little bit longer. But it happens. As a biased Chargers fan, I remember when Drew Brees was with the team, and first couple of years weren't great, and then they drafted Phillip Rivers, and they kind of had to make that move. It was easier because Drew Brees got tackled and tore the labrum in his shoulder. They moved on. Obviously, he went on to have a Hall of Fame career with the Saints. But I think you kind of have to go get that guy. We'll see what happens. I like Willis, though. Ever since I saw him at the NFL Combine, giving clothes that he received for free to a homeless woman outside. Just a good dude. So I'm rooting for him. I hope he plays well. 1-833-401-1440. MTR says, biased aside, Connor, LOL. But in my keeper league, I have kept Gibbs and Bowers and need to choose between Hampton, which would cost me a 4th-round pick, or Henderson, who would cost me a 10th-round pick. Half-point PPR. I'm leaning Henderson for the value, but I think Hampton has a better year. Yeah, I think that's a pretty fair assessment. I think Henderson is going to be good. I think Hampton has a chance to be really good, despite what Mike McDaniel said, saying he's going to kind of ride the hot hand and that sort of thing. Like, he still wants to run the football, and there is a drop-off from Omarion Hampton to Keaton Mitchell or Kamani Vidal. And I think you're just going to be going with him. Got to stay healthy. Got to be out there for, 14 games minimum. But that value right there to keep your 4th-round pick, heck, maybe you go grab him later if you want him. But I for a 10th rounder, I kind of like that. Trailer Park Ryan. Saints fan. Just want to say once again, thank you very much for Drew Brees. Well, thank the Dolphins as well. From what we heard, the Dolphins were kind of the number one spot for Drew Brees, and they were a little hesitant. But it worked out well. Obviously, the Chargers never got a Super Bowl, but I love Phillip Rivers, so I'm not going to be too mad about it. Large Farva says, A.J. Brown and Scadbu as keepers. I would go A.J. Brown, yeah. Obviously, we don't really know what's going to happen with that team. Like the Patriots, to me, are one that I'm very intrigued by just because of last year, how it went. I never really bought in. Yes, they still went to the Super Bowl, but, they got playoff Herbert, playoff Stroud, Bo Nix-less Denver Broncos, and then the Seattle Seahawks kind of handled their business. Drake May can throw the rock. A.J. Brown, win happy. We know how good he can be. I guess it depends on where you took them. Cam Scadabo, that I'm a little worried about. Like, obviously, that injury he had was pretty gruesome, but that's not going to slow this guy down. He's going to be out there, smashing his head into opposing linebackers nonstop, getting extra yards. Again, I guess if you took him late and you got to say that, like, that's all it's going to cost you is a late round pick, then I think I'd be willing to do that. A.J. Brown is better than Chase, according to Triple C. He's supporting his team. I remember that day. We had to call him out on that one. St. Albert Kevin says, I'm in 2 12-team leagues. We're drafting on the 3rd and 4th. Who would you pick strategy-wise if you were picking in the top 6? Running back? If you're picking 3rd and 4th? Well, you got to think. I mean, is it PPR? If you're going 3rd and 4th, I would assume you're going to have Gibbs and Bijan 1, 2. Some people at that point will probably go Jamar Chase, Jonathan Stewart, Christian McCaffrey. So I guess it kind of depends how it plays out. I do think for me, there is a bigger drop off at running back than there is at receiver. Like, you can still kind of find guys later on in the draft at receiver, maybe other positions. Like, running back to me is at that category with tight end. It's going to drop off. Whereas receiver, I still think you can find some guys. So, yeah, if you're going Gibbs, Robinson, maybe Chase, the top-end receivers, you still look at Puka Nacua, Najigba, Amon-Ra St. Brown. If it's PPR, I kind of like that one. But Jonathan Taylor's right there. I guess, yeah, like I'm thinking it kind of depends if you're doing PPR or not. But if you're going 3-4, I would probably go Jamar Chase. I just think he's got so much upside, and Joe Burrow loves to feed him the football. 1-833-401-1440. Just quickly here, we did get some donations or some buy-ins for our fantasy football draft coming up in, well, it'll be a little ways away here. Let me bring up the calendar. Playbook Vic, and I believe it was Northside, one of our Northside listeners, bought one entry each. The draw, we'll be doing this on September 4th. It is a Friday. So that second segment of the September 4th show, we'll be doing the live draw on air. And then the draft will be happening Tuesday night before the season gets going. So the day after the long weekend, September 8th, the day before the season. So if you want to get in on this, you can e-transfer Connor at sports1440.ca $20. It's $20 per entry. So if you want to try to load up the ballot, you can buy 10 entries. That'd be $200. Maybe you just want to do 5 for $100. Half the money is going to go to charity. Half will go to the eventual winner, as we do on Fantasy Frenzy. All the money goes to the winner. We don't settle for second spot. If you finish second, you might as well finish last. All the money will be going to the winner. We'll have 10 spots up for grabs. Fantasy Frenzy, well, the old Fantasy Frenzy will take a team. We also have a spot for Tyler, who won the league last year. He's actually won it the last 2 years. He does have to buy one entry. If he wants to buy more, he can. But Tyler will have an automatic spot. So we'll be drafting 10 other teams. Trailer Park Ryan wins the draft. It'll be the Tuesday before the season, 6 o'clock, right after the Jason Greger show. And the Duke and I will hunker down and try to draft a better team. How do I enter? Kyle says. Well, again, and we're going to put this out on social media. Mackenzie, our social media guru, is going to be putting out a graphic for you guys later on. But it'll just be $20 to Connor at sports1440.ca, $20 an entry. You can enter as many times as you want. The deadline will likely be Thursday before the draw. So the 10th of September. Then we can have all the entries made up and ready to go. And we'll tell you guys, more information as we go along here. And hey, if there's any local businesses you want to get in on this one, maybe you want to donate a package or be the title sponsor, we're going to take this a little bit more serious. Mackenzie wants us to do weekly, I don't even know, rundowns. Who had the best week? Who had the least points? Those sorts of things. Again, one more time for the people in the back. It'll be a $20 per entry type system. You can buy as many entries as you want. $20 a piece. $10 will go to the pot. $10 will go to our charity of choice, which we are working on. Chomsker says, I want to keep McMillan in the keeper league, but have limited space. Who can I get the better return for? Chase Brown, Genty, Rice, Lamar, or JSN? Well, I mean, if you want to trade maybe from a position of strength, I would be maybe more willing to move on from a running back. And I think Ashton Genty, as good as he was in his college career and had a pretty decent season last year towards the end, you could probably sell him for a lot. But I mean, it's clearly Jackson Smith the Jigba. This guy was the offensive player of the year last year. If you want to get a big return, that's how you move out. But I wouldn't move him. I mean, I think he's an absolute stud. In our league last year, we wanted to keep him, or I wanted to draft him. I was overruled by the Duke. We took Scary Terry. So, Chomskers, if it's me, I'm keeping JSN. Coming up next, we got the lowdown with Low Tide. We'll have Steve Lansky on the show, talking about some broadcasting legends. You got Declinations with Declan Kruger as well. Then it'll be followed by the Jason Gregor Show, 2 to 6. We'll have Farhan Lalji. We've got the Spec Report with Kevin Carius filling in, Alan Mitchell, and more. So make sure you keep it locked here on Sports 1440. Then at 6 o'clock, we'll head out to Toronto. Blue Jays baseball as they take on the Yankees. First pitch, 5:15. We'll join it in progress on our AM feed only. That music means we are done. We'll be back on Monday to do it all over again. Talk more football, and we'll go to Minnesota, talk some Vikings. For the Duke and Fenwick and young Connor, I'm Connor Halley. Thanks for joining us. Have a great weekend. Right now, we will get to a Sports 1440 update with Josh Fenwick, brought to you by the Edmonton Elks. Kick off the second half of the season with a 5-game ticket pack and get a $25 voucher. Get your half-season pass today at goelks.com/tickets. Edmonton Elks, our city, our year.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Week 11 of CFL action continues today as the Red Blacks are in Winnipeg taking on the Blue Bombers. Kickoff at 6:30. Elks in action tomorrow at Commonwealth Stadium. Kickoff at 1 p.m. 14 MLB games tonight sees the Blue Jays hosting the Yankees. Bieber on the bump for the Birds. First pitch at 5:15. Catch the game in action just after the conclusion of the Jason Gregor Show. Cubs hosting the Cardinals just after the top of the hour. The nightcap sees the Giants hosting the Rockies. And in the PGA, Canadian Yella Marahu shot a 5-under in the St. Jude Championship to tie him for the 5th spot on the leaderboard. Coming up on Sports 1440, it is the Lowdown with Low Tide. I'm Josh Fenwick, and this has been a Sports 1440 update.
1440,
A Stingray radio station.
broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio